Let me do my job, you jackhole!
Summoning protector turret.
I am going to die. Roland forcibly relocated me to Sanctuary for what he claimed was my safety, but the slackjaws who populate this city make my flesh scream. A young woman said hello to me today. I stared back at her, my mind screeching as I looked for a way to escape this unwanted interaction. As my face grew red with nauseous stress, a blood vessel popped in my nose and a jet of crimson shot out of my nostrils, splattering us both with blood. She screamed and ran away. As pleased as I was at the time, I fear causing fountains of blood to shoot from my face will not be a viable long-term strategy for avoiding conversation. Questions occurred to me today as I was pinning a disemboweled skag to my front door to dissuade others from approaching it. What does Jack want with the vault key? Was the key simply charging the entire time I possessed it before Jack crowbarred it from my bloody hands? Was it waiting to unleash its alien powers on Pandora to make Iridium appear from the very ground? Was it preparing itself to unlock even more alien ruins? I will delve deeper into this question after I soundproof the walls of my home, that I may be spared the incessant laughter and joviality of Sanctuary's citizens. I have uncovered legends of an ancient alien warrior. The legends tell of a magical key that can bring it back to life. If my hypotheses are correct, which they always are, the legends may be speaking of the vault key. Also, a young man told me I was pretty on my way back from the grocers. The reaction was surprisingly tame. I only spent the next 3 hours driving.
Let's get you rolling!
It's a badass!
Yesterday, I had a conversation with another human being. Granted, it was only a conversation in as much as my grunts of social terror could be taken as human speech, but Roland did not seem to mind. He asked me why Jack hasn't revived the warrior yet, if he has the key. I conveyed that the key needed to be charged by iridium, hence Jack's mining operations. He nodded and silently wiped the streams of my saliva from his face. I returned home, confused not only at his lack of disgust toward my behavior, but my lack of disgust toward him. For the first time, I felt as if I could actually live in Sanctuary. For the first time, I feel as if I might be okay.
what a sucker. Don't tell nobody where you got that. Out of my face. Out of my face. Who told you about this place? I'll kill him. Don't even think about bringing that one back. Anybody ask? You found that. Don't tell nobody where you got that. And stay on.
The nightmares won't stop. Don't worry about it.
You listened to my notes, I assume. I would be upset were it not for the equally privacy-indifferent background check I ran on you before hiring you for this job. I hid the copious material I compiled after opening the vault those 5 long years ago. In a fit of spastic paranoia, I did not write down the locations to the information. Find it for me and be handsomely... Oh, were you expecting me to say handsomely rewarded?
I'm pretty sure my lips.
This just in. Hot off the
And now, for the latest edition of This Just In with Hunter Hellquist. This is Hunter Hellquist, Hyperion Truth Broadcasting. The bandit hordes of Pandora suffered bitter defeat today, as their scum-infested town of Sanctuary was nearly destroyed. Handsome Jack, ever heroic and forward-thinking, tricked a particularly moronic bandit into breaching the city's defenses. If it had not been for Handsome Jack's incredible mercy, Sanctuary would have been utterly destroyed. Hero he is, however, Jack gave the city and its denizens one final chance to repent and join the Hyperion family. Be waiting for their response. Hunter Hellquist, signing off.
I've been relocated to Sanctuary against everyone's better judgment. Not my own, mind you. I never wanted to be here. I was perfectly content to live out my days in a non-standard living arrangement with 2 ceiling chairs I met at a bar fight. Oh, they're adorable. They barely speak any English. And if you have to ask what a ceiling chair is, I pity the life you've wasted. I should discuss the scroll-ophant in the room. The reason for my relocation was an elongated and systematically unpleasant torture at the hands of Jack's cronies. Roland and his well-defined pectoral muscles were kind enough to entrust the vault key with me after the awakening of the Destroyer, not to be confused with the Warrior. Seriously, those sound nothing alike. Oh, right, torture. I asked nicely on several occasions to take proper precautions against bacteria on the instruments, but it fell upon idiotic ears. As they cut into my flesh over and over, I would fade in and out of consciousness and whisper to the ceiling chairs that it was going to be okay. Clark was afraid at first. His 4 legs trembled against the cold ceiling, but he knew he had to be strong for me. Then they went to work on his brother, Philippe. Philippe. Philippe was so brave. He was so brave for me when the rotary saws began to ply his legs from his body. Clark cried out for his brother, even when one of the torturers inadvertently sat on him and muffled his cries. The last thing Philippe said before he passed on to the great wooden beyond was, "I love you, Patty. I love you." And then he was gone. It's lonely here in Sanctuary. Sure, Clork prattles around on the ceiling, but it's hardly the same. Jack has taken so much from me. Jack has taken the only happiness I've ever had in his asinine quest for the warrior and more power. Revenge is as pointless as music, but on this occasion, I will allow myself the revenge. I will allow myself to aid in his downfall. Mark my words, Jack. You're going to die.
The chronicles of my torture. I shall warm up some cold cocoa and listen to these again. Some people, who are not me, might consider slag experimentation immoral. Some people would not be willing to pay you a great deal of money for bringing me experiment results from the Hyperion Preserve. Some people are stupid. If you could stand still for a moment, I require something of you. A group of mutant test subjects escaped the Hyperion Preserve. As amusing as it might be to see them attempt to reintegrate into society, they must be put down. You will need a way to lure them out. Head to Moxie's and acquire some bait I have ordered.
Get over here. I got work. Jack blasted my personal safe out of my own store. My most precious treasure could be in the hands of some freeloading bandits by now. Head back to that city-sized hole in the ground and get my safe back.
A few years back, I won 2 prizes in Moxie's Underdome. A chest full of loot and Moxie herself. I lost the second prize to Jack, and the first to a thief named Carson. I don't care if I never see those guns again, but if you want them, just find Carson in the dust.
Hey, cutie. Got a job for you. Why don't you stop by my place out in the dust?
Greetings. Do you feel you have too many bullets, but not enough money? Those crystalists are right bastards, aren't they? Scientific term. If you could find out just what got up the crystalists' collective bomb and made them so cross, I'd be willing to pay you a pretty penny. Metaphorically. I'll be paying you a great deal more than a penny. It's just a saying I'm fond of. Off to the Caustic Caverns with you.
My turn? Great.
Hey, man, I need something.
Shorty must die! That crock blocker defaced one of my catch and rides, and nobody does that except ladies I want to bang and sometimes me when I'm drunk. He's hiding in stalker territory. Go get him!
Got some work for you.
Hey, you met my girl, Lainey? She perfect, man. Blonde, a great body, distantly related to me, great body, but them fridge rats brainwashed her. You gotta snap her out of that cannibalism crap. I don't want to get bit. Bring Lainey her favorite flowers and food, and I'm sure she'll come around and stop biting. Oh, and if you find any porno mags, I'm just saying if you come across them in a natural accents, just snag those for me too, okay?
Hey, won't give me a hand? Hey, man, I think Roland wanted you to go check out the town of Overlook, see if you can help the people there or whatever. Them folks been cooped up in their houses ever since they got the shivers. Dollars to donuts, they could use your help.
All the news that's fit to lie about. Get the new issue of This Just In.
Talk to me, baby. I got jobs. It's my birthday. I first rolled off the assembly line 7 years ago. Do me a favor and hand out these invites for my stellar birthday bash, will you? And quickly. We're gonna start any minute.
Even if we beat Hyperion, someone will take their place. Always do.
Freeze to death. I know it.
Got something new for you. A gang of lowlifes is out prospecting for iridium in the Tundra Express. I want you to find out why they're mining the stuff, and I want them dead. Order doesn't matter.
Everybody good?
Given the skill with which you dispatch those robots, We of the town of Overlook thought you might give us a hand, so to speak. So, first item on the agenda, we're all dying of a brain disease. If you could get us 3 shipments of medication, we would live, which would allow me to keep paying you. Our medicine machine needs a new battery. Please climb the clock tower ladder and remove the clock's battery.
Greetings, residents of Overlook. I, handsome Jack, am moderately happy to welcome you into the Hyperion family. Watch out for those suckers. Attack!
God damn it, some jackhole broke the clock tower! How the hell am I supposed to know what time it is now?
You found the battery. Plug it into our medicine machine and buy some skull shiver medication. Please. Once I find out who thought we needed a running clock more badly than we needed shiver medication, they will be thoroughly reprimanded.
Welcome to Dr. Zed's Portable Clinic. What can I get for you?
Thank you, but we need 2 more medicine shipments. The next is carried by a traveling Hyperion requisition officer wandering the Highlands. Get the medicine from him. Without his guards, I'm sure the salesman will give you a good price for his medicine. I suggest killing them, politely, if possible.
Overlook has once again inched out Jacksville for fewest weekly curfew violations. For the next week, the grinder will only be used for egregious felonies, like littering or profanity.
You're very efficient. I respect that. The last medicine shipment was being delivered by boat, but we lost contact. Find it, please.
receptacle below. That ought to keep your...
Got all the medicine. Efficient. Very efficient. Now please distribute that medicine around town. I'd do it myself, but Hyperion doesn't like it when we leave our homes.
Appreciate it.
Hyperion reminds you that any unauthorized behavior will be rewarded with a one-way trip to the grinder.
Screw you! You can bring me medicine all day. It don't make you less of a stag, sucker!
Sorry about Dave. He's we try not to talk to him. Return to me for your agreed-upon reward. If I had 10 people like you, this town would be running like clockwork. Now that our brains aren't going to rot from the inside, let's move on to point 2 on my agenda. Revolt. If we are to shake off Hyperion control, the town will need a shield like sanctuaries to protect it from moonshot blitzes. If you could donate some shields to the town, I could scavenge them and build us a shield.